They say defense wins NBA championships, but when the lights dim and the crowd roars, it's the legendary big threes that etch their names into history. From Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman to LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, now a new generation rises. Which trio will dominate? And hey, if you're as excited about this NBA season as we are, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more epic breakdowns. Let's dive in. Starting off with one of the newest big threes in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns already had a pretty talented squad at the start of last season, but clearly looking for more, the team made a bumper trade for Kevin Durant midway through the season. It gave Devin Booker a true NBA legend alongside him, but it wasn't enough for the Suns to defeat the eventual champion Denver Nuggets. So in the offseason, the Suns made another trade when they acquired Bradley Beal. So the Phoenix Suns now have three of the best scorers currently in the NBA. Next season, they are going to be almost impossible to defend. Think about it. If a team focuses their defense on Kevin Durant, Devin Booker has shown he can put up points. Even if defenses shut down both of these players, Bradley Beal has averaged 30 points per game in the past. Even when it was just Durant and Booker, the Suns still managed to push the Nuggets closer than any other team did in the playoffs. Now they will have another 30-point per game scorer, as well as a player who has shown improved playmaking over the last few years. Injuries might be a slight concern for this team. The last time that Bradley Beal or Kevin Durant played more than 60 games in the regular season was the 2018-19 season. When it gets to the playoffs, the Suns will hope that all three of these guys are healthy, as they're going to be a really big problem next season. While Joel Embiid and James Harden have both been named League MVP before, you can't look at this Sixers team without giving credit to Tyrese Maxey. If you talk to any Philly fan, they will tell you that this Sixers team is a big three and not a big two. Joel Embiid finally won the League MVP trophy that he had been looking for in the 2022-23 season, finally able to outperform Nikola Jokic as he led the league in scoring while also having career highs in assists, minutes, and field goal percentage. Embiid has all of the characteristics to be the #1 player on a championship team. James Harden is a similarly exceptional player. Now getting into his mid-30s, no one is saying that Harden is the player he once was when he was winning the league MVP trophies with the Houston Rockets. But as he has aged, Harden's playmaking has improved even further, and he had a much improved shooting last year, even if it was not near his previous heights. But that is where Tyrese Maxey comes into the team. As the 21st overall pick in 2020, not a huge amount was expected of Maxey this early on. But at age 22, Maxey looks like one of the most exciting young guards in the league. An excellently exciting scorer, Maxey shot 43% from the three-point line in an injury hit last season. But there is still a huge amount of talent there, and Maxey is also solid defensively. So this Sixers team can massively rely on this big three to carry them through the season. Rebounding, scoring, defense, this three really can do it all. This Sixers team is going to be incredibly difficult to stop in the East next season. The Cleveland Cavaliers really did not look like they were moving in the right direction for a couple of years after LeBron left for the second time. But quietly, the Cavs have been drafting incredibly well, and they have now been able to create one of the most exciting big threes in the NBA. Despite some success with the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell became available in 2022, and the Cavaliers were the ones to take advantage of that. In his first full season with the team, Mitchell took his game to another level, with a brilliant shooting year helping the Cavs into the playoffs. But it was also down to the performances of a couple of recent Cavs draft picks. Darius Garland was the 5th overall pick in 2019, and he has consistently improved over the first 4 years of his NBA career. A good scorer, Garland is the perfect playmaker for his Cavs team, and he complements Mitchell in that backcourt perfectly. In the frontcourt, Evan Mobley has looked excellent. Not only is he a consistent, highly efficient scorer and solid rebounder, Mobley is also a brilliant defender. Despite being just 21 years old last season, he was named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team. With Jarrett Allen alongside him, the Cavs have an incredibly exciting young squad. The team's loss to the New York Knicks in the first round of the playoffs was pretty disappointing, but considering how young this Cavs team is, It will not be the last time that Cleveland makes it to the playoffs. Watch out for this trio not only next season, but across the next decade. This is one of the trios where it was not easy to put them on the list because the three of them have not had a huge amount of success together so far. Prior to the start of last season, the Timberwolves made a massive move when they sent 5 first-round picks and a lot of talent to the Utah Jazz for Rudy Gobert. So far, we have not really seen this team have a huge amount of success. Gobert missed out on an All-Star appearance for the first time since 2019, as well as failing to make the NBA All-Defensive First Team for the first time since 2016, but it helps when you have had 2 other superstars on the team. Karl Anthony Towns has been playing very good basketball for the T-Wolves since he was drafted first overall in 2015. Sadly, Cat missed a huge amount of the season with a grade 2 calf strain and could not take the Timberwolves deep into the playoffs when he returned. But the last man in this big three is one who could become a true NBA icon. Anthony Edwards has been establishing himself as one of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA. The former first overall pick improved in almost every category last season and showed that he can lead a team into the playoffs. His 23 points per game in the playoffs against the Nuggets was incredibly impressive. Next season, the Timberwolves need to have a better regular season if they want to progress deep into the playoffs. If this big three are really healthy for the majority of the season, then Minnesota could have home advantage in next year's playoffs. In the Milwaukee Bucks 2020-21 NBA title run, there was no doubt that it was the duo of Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo driving the team forward. But last season, Jrue Holiday showed that this team certainly has a big three. Last season was an injury-hit one in the regular season for Chris Middleton, which meant that Jrue Holiday needed to step up on offense, which is exactly what he did. Holiday averaged 19 points and 7 rebounds per game last season. But everyone knows who leads this team. Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the best players in the NBA, putting up 31 points and 12 rebounds per game last season to take the Bucks to the #1 spot in the East. But you could tell who was the leader of this Bucks team in the playoffs, as the #1 seed crashed out to the Miami Heat in 5 games. While it was an abysmal end to the Bucks season, this trio has won a championship together. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still one of the best players in the NBA and an unstoppable force in attack. Chris Middleton has shown that he can be a championship-level sidekick, while Jrue Holiday is a great defense guard who is a solid scorer. This is one big three who will be looking for revenge next season. On paper, the Chicago Bulls have a very exciting big three. Last season should have been the big one for the Bulls. All 3 of these stars were healthy, playing more than 70 regular season games together, while the majority of their supporting cast was also healthy. Considering the run that the Miami Heat went on in the playoffs, losing in the play-in game to the Heat is not necessarily a bad result. But the Bulls would have hoped to be in the playoffs instead of on the outside. What should make things a little bit better for the Bulls is that the playoff window is not shut on this team. Even into his 30s, DeMar DeRozan is still a 25-point per game scorer, with Zach Lavine also able to put up similar numbers. Both are good defenders as well as willing playmakers. Nikola Vucevic is one of the most underrated centers in the NBA, able to score efficiently, spread the floor, and gobble up rebounds. This should be an incredibly exciting attacking trio, but things have not quite clicked yet for the Bulls. But don't be surprised if the big three of the Chicago Bulls are into the playoffs very soon. So what do you think is the best big three in the NBA? Why not put your thoughts in the comments down below?